Hello guys, how are you? I hope you are doing well. It's a weekend, and like I promised that every weekend we'll be leading the market outlook and the breakdown of the market, and what are you going to expect on the coming week. And as you see here in our watch list, we have a couple of pairs around here, and I'm going to explain how am I seeing the market and how are we going, and how are we seeing the market and how are we going to expect by looking on our time frame from monthly or weekly, daily, 4 hour, and 1 hour time frame. But before of that, I would like to remind you that don't forget to subscribe to our channel of Green Pips FX, so that if you release another new video, you'll be notified. Also, click a link button over there. On top of that, don't forget to leave your share, to share to others about this inside knowledge of the Forex market. Also, don't forget to share to others that we are releasing good things about the Forex market. That being said, let me start and explain what are we expecting on the coming week. Like, last week we are having a little bit news of NFP. Though at the former time, the news was seen just with normal momentum. But when few hours went on, the price came out. I mean, the news came out with high impact, like you see on gold, how it went on gold. The same applies if you see on USD JPY, like you see. The pair which did not went past was only this one, which was USD CAD. It just went normal. But the rest, like if you look on Euro USD, you see here, it went past like this one. The same applies to gold, the same applies to USD JPY, the same applies to USD CHF. But basically, for the case of pair of USD CAD, the momentum was just normal. Okay, now let me start with this GBP USD. According to GBP USD on 4 hour time frame, the price has broken the structure, like you see here. Why do I say broke the structure? I mean that we are having series of highs, low, then high. After that happened, then we made this kind of pattern, this low, high, low, then we broke the structure. To mean that broken the structure, like I usually say, breaking the previous highs and high low. What does that tell us? Breaking the previous highs and high low, it tells us that we are in a certain phase, in an impulsive phase, like you see here. This was an impulsive phase, like you see here. Breaking the structure like that one, it's an indication for that we have shifted this impulsive phase and we are going in a correction phase. So through this correction phase, it is where we're going to take our advantage to go to the upside. Is that enough? No. Let us see on our time frame how it tells us. But before that, if you try to look on here, you see that the price have managed to break the trend. It means that this trend have been broken. Breaking the trend, it gives us more confidence that we are going up. So what do we see? What do we say about that? We have just to find the points lower down, points here, down here, whether it is invalidation point or new validation point, either on 3 minutes or 15 minutes or 10 minutes, either invalidation or new validation or hidden invalidation point. But that being said, our point of interest is just around here. Our point of interest is around down here. Here it is where we can look for potential area for us to take a buy trade to go it to the upside. That is not full enough. If you come in higher time frame like daily, you see that the price managed to break this structure around here. Okay, why do I say that? This was after what? This was after this correction which happened here. If I try to cut down here, if I try to cut this down, sorry, if I try to cut this around here, if I try to cut this here, it shows exactly that after this impulsive move, we went with a certain bit correction. After then, the price managed to go high. After this impasse, like you see, this was an impasse. I mean, this was the break, like you see here. This was high, and this was low, and we meant to have this break. And we are just waiting the price to come to certain points around here before going upward. And that is what exactly what happened. That when the price came, it just ended here and went past. And it blocked and managed to block the structure around here. Okay. If you also come in weekly time frame, it shows that we are expecting to go high. Why do I say that? Because it has made to break this trend here, this high here. So what do I say? What are we waiting? We were just waiting for our time frame, like it happened here, to break the structure, so as we can find our interest point downward here before going upside. And that was the case of GBP USD. Also, we can look to another pair like USD. I mean, like Australian dollar against the USD dollar. On this pair, if you try to look in higher time frame, like this one here, like weekly time, like day time frame here, you see that this was low, this was high, this was low, and the price managed to break the structure. So, like I said, breaking of structure, it gives us the confirmation that we have shifted a certain phase, and we are expecting to enter in a certain phase. So, for the case of this pair of USD against the for Australian dollar against USD CAD, we are just expecting the price to come to break this structure and form for a break of structure. After then, to come and find a certain point downward here before going up. I think that is clear. So for this case, we are just waiting the price to come and break the structure, as it happened here, to break the structure, to make this to be for a break of structure. After then, to come and find some potential area in lower time frame, whether it is 10 minutes or 50 minutes or 30 minutes, before going upward. On my side, I just took this trade here, and I'm expecting the price to come downward here so that I can take another trade to go upside. So if you try to compare the higher time frame and the lower time frame, the higher time frame here, I'm talking about the time frame. It shows exactly that we are expecting to have a certain movement to the upside, even though it will just end up around here. Okay, but we cannot take the decision of taking this buy trade until we see the break of structure of to come downward here and take some potential points over here before going to the upside. So for this case, the alert we got is that yes, the price have broken the structure. So in order for us to take an action, we have to wait the price to break the structure, then to go to the after then go to the upside, to the upside. Okay, before that, let me check on this pair, which is USD JPY. If you try to look on USD JPY, last week I was explaining about this one, about this pair, and I just gave up the analysis. I was just saying that for the case of USD JPY, we are just waiting the price to break the structure to the downward, to the downward, to the downward. Then we are expecting to have some little bit trade to this point here. And that is what exactly happened on the last week. Okay. And that's what exactly happened on last week. That the price broke the structure and came to this potential area around here, and went up, upside, and to the upside up, like this one. So basically, I usually say that breaking of the structure, it gives you an insight. It gives you an indication that, hey, we have shifted another phase. We are going to another phase. So how can you take advantage of that phase? And that's how it happens. What I can say on this USD JPY around here after this break of 4 hours, we just go in on hour around here and wait for one. What are we waiting here? We are just waiting for 1 hour break of structure. 1 hour break of structure, something like this. 1 hour to break the structure, maybe make high and low, then break the structure to find a certain point before going to the upside. For the case of USD JPY, we expecting bullish movement. So in order to rally in or take disadvantage, we just wait for 1 hour to break the structure, then we can take the trade to the upside. Why do I say that? Because if you come in a higher time frame, especially weekly, it shows exactly that we are still going up. Why do I say that? Because we have just recently broke this. Also, if you come in the time frame, it shows exactly that we are still pushing because we have not broken any structure on here. So we are still pushing to the upside. You get the point? Okay. Now, I think you have talked about GBP USD and the Australian dollar and the GBP and the USD card. Now let's take a look on this gold. My dear friend, for the case of gold, we're expecting a little bit push to the upward. Why do I say that? Because this was high, so slow, then we made to break the structure. That's not enough. We also break the trend. Sorry, we didn't break the trend. But if you come in higher time frame, for instance, daily, you see here, we have managed to break this structure out here. Sorry, not yet. But basically, regarding on 4 time frame, it tells us that we are expecting to take a little bit push to the upward. After this break, we're expecting to go higher and higher and higher. So for this case, we are just waiting our potential area to be around here before going upward, to be around here before going upward. And let me be clear that this video, I'm just explaining about the outlook of the market. I will send another video, or I will release another video, which will be explaining, we'll be choosing some pairs, not all the pairs, how we can take on, how we can rally in with the advantage of that. So this market is just giving an outlook that how are we expecting to take our trade, and how are we expecting that the price will end up. But for this case of gold against USD, we're expecting to take a potential area around here. Also, let's look for another pair. For instance, on Euro USD, let's start with our euro against the Australian dollar. For the case of euro against the Australian dollar, I think we are basically on potential area of taking a buy trade around here. Why do I say that? Because if you come in hard time frame, for instance, daily, we have broke the day structure. Not only breaking, because when the price came down, it failed to close below, it closed above. It closed above. I mean, it failed closed below. I mean, it failed closed above. It closed below. Yeah, something like that. It failed closed below this candle. It closed. It failed close above this candle. It closed below. It closed within the territory. It did not close above the territory. So that being said, regarding on 4-hour break of structure, here is a potential area where you can take a buy trade to the upside. Why do I say that? After this correction phase, this is an impassive phase. Like after this movement, after this movement you see here, the price came down, take a certain point here before going to the upside. But that was not full enough, because if you try to look around here, the price closed above. Closing above, it gives us an indication that we are still expecting the price to go high. So this is the accurate entry for us, and we're expecting to take it this week. You can put your pending order around here and with that head stop loss before going, so that you can take this trade before it's going to the upside. Why do I say that? This made another high around here. Treating this high, it gives us an indication that we are going up. Okay, that being said, you should try to look on, yeah, that was for the case of euro against the Australian dollar. But for the case of euro against the GBP, euro against the USD dollar, the price have broken the structure. Due to that, we're expecting the price to come a little bit to the downward side here to take some points before going upside. And this also, if you try to look the euro against USD and also GBP against the USD, they have the same market structure. And I usually treat these pairs the same, because when it is in passive move, also the same, this one is going in passive move. So I'm pretty sure that also on GBP and USD, we're still expecting the price to come down on here before going to the upside. So you can look for potential area around here, so that you can come into you can come with it to the downside before going up. So for GBP and USD and GBP and euro and USD, will have a little bit push to the downside before going up. But the upward movement, it tells us that GBP and USD, euro and USD, and the euro out Australian dollar, it is going to be more bullish. Like you see in high time frame, like weekly, we have made a high, low, then we managed to make another high, like you see here. So printing these highs, it gives us that I have confidence, because if you see we have broken like a certain trend around here, hence we're expecting the price to go to the upward. So more potential trades. We are seeing the more potential trades, we are seeing them on this pair of euro against the USD, also euro. I mean, more potential trades. It is this one, the first one of euro against the Australian dollar. Also, another potential trade is gold against the USD. Also, more potential trade is GBP against USD. Also, if you try to look GBP against USD, this one is not still confirmed. But most of the pair, which is euro against, if you look on Australian dollar against USD, it has a potential. Also, the same applies to Australian dollar against USD, it has potentials. Also, USD against JPY. This one has potentials, but until it breaks the break of structure. Now, what I want you to be pretty much sure that if you see another break, whether it is hour, I mean, if you see the break on time frame like 4 hour, you see high, low, high, then the price broke the structure. You have to know that the price have broken the structure, and due to that, it have shifted the phase, and you have to look for potential. If you see something like this on 4 hour time frame, you should come in higher time frame like weekly and daily to confirm to make your correlation. Does it make sense to me take a buy trade or take a sell trade? The same applies to other pairs. So if it makes sense, you can take a trade. Basically, that is how our week is going through. Before that, let me repeat again just on few saying. I'm repeating that. On gold, we're expecting a buy trade to a certain point here. On GBP USD, we're expecting a buy to a certain point here. Also, on GBP USD, we're expecting a certain sell to a certain point before going to the buy. The same applies to euro. But if you look on euro against the Australian dollar, we are on sell, we are on the trade. So you can take a buy trade allowed here and just put your stop loss, simple stop loss. But for the case of euro against the Australian dollar, we have the bearish movement and the bullish movement, and you can take your buy trade for the coming week. The same applies to euro against USD. We're just waiting for the price to come to trigger a certain potential area around there, around this point here, around this area here, before going to the upward. What I want to repeat that I'm just giving you the insight market, how are we going to expect. But more trade that I'm more the more pair that I'm more confident with it is gold against the USD. It is going to be bullish. Euro against the Australian dollar, it is bullish. Euro against the USD, we're expecting a certain pullback to somewhere before going to upward. But the outward looking is bullish movement. The same applies to GBP. AUD, we're expecting a little bit push to the upside. Why do I say that? We have broken the structure. Also, the time frame, it gives us an indication that we are still going upward. The same applies to Ukraine. So you can just take out for your time this pair, which is Australian dollar against USD, euro against the Australian dollar, also euro against LND, also GBP against the Australian dollar, also GBP USD, GBP USD, also GBP against the CHF. Yeah, because those are the pairs that we are seeing potential on them. Because GBP against the CHF, it has just broken the structure. Due to that, we're just expecting it to come to a certain point downward here before going to the upside. Thank you guys, and that was the insight about the market on this coming week. If you have not understood, please just leave your comment where you have not understood, so that we can know how we can cooperate. That being said, I would like to remind you that don't forget to subscribe to our channel of KingPixFX. Also leave your comment there. Also don't forget to share to others so that they can get the same knowledge. Thank you guys. Meet you next time.